My sister and I built a cleaning company that has generated over $2.5 million in 4 years, built on a system that is totally manageable in just a few hours a day. We never do the cleaning. Our cleaners are reliable and consistent, and our best clients are low maintenance, easy to work with, and generate recurring revenue that we can count on year after year. This video is me walking you through the 25 lessons that made all of this possible. Lesson 1. Keep the main thing the main thing. Every single client looking for cleaning services wants exactly the same thing. Cleaners who show up, get the job done right, and do it right every single time. So we do that one thing really, really well. Once you get that right, everything else is about attracting the right type of client for your business. And that leads directly to lesson 2. Focus on attracting low-maintenance clients. Our ideal clients are busy professionals who value their time. They want fast answers, clear pricing, and they want to book online. So you want a website where a working mom can type in the size of her home, exactly how often she wants her cleaning done, she gets the price right away, and then she books. Boom, done. She can check that off of her to-do list. We're not wasting time with back and forth phone calls or free quotes, and we'll get back to you in a minute. House cleaning is a simple business, and so we have a simple booking system. Lesson 3. Recurring revenue is the key. We love recurring clients. They provide predictable income for both you and your cleaners, and they're usually way less maintenance than one-time clients who book maybe a move-in, move-out, or post-construction cleaning, or a one-time deep clean, expecting their home to be spotless in just one clean. Recurring clients understand it takes time, and by recurring, I mean weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. For perspective, a weekly client paying $150 a week adds up to about $8,000 a year. A bi-weekly client paying $200 every clean, that adds up to almost $5,000 a year. Stack 100 of those, and now you have a $500,000 cleaning company. Which leads us to lesson 4. Your cleaners are your company. Most cleaners all want the same thing. They want consistent clients, fair pay, and to be treated well, to be left alone to get on with their jobs. So we give them that. Our cleaners choose their schedules, they get to pick which types of clients they work with, and they can say no to certain clients if they don't want to work with them. They keep 60% of each job's pay, and they earn 100% of the tips. They're treated like professionals, because they are. And because of that, they stay. Lesson 6. There's no such thing as a cleaning emergency. This one took me the longest to learn. As a new owner, everything feels urgent. Every text, every phone call, every complaint, all of it turns into this feeling of, oh my gosh, it's an emergency. But here's the thing, it's just cleaning. When I catch myself spiraling, I remind myself of Juan, a firefighter who built a cleaning business as his side hustle. During the day, Juan is literally saving lives. His clients have to wait. There is no way he can stop fighting a fire to answer some sort of emergency in cleaning. Just because a client wants you to jump, you don't have to say how high. Or just because a cleaner suddenly needs to change their schedule doesn't mean you have to drop everything right away. You are in control of your business. That reminder alone will save you years of unnecessary stress. And it sets you up for the next shift. Lesson 7, simplicity scales. We keep the model simple and we stick to it. Online booking with transparent pricing. Reliable, consistent cleaners who show up and get the job done right. They get paid 60% of every job, and we prioritize recurring revenue. That's it. That's the model. And we don't change that model because of one complaining client or one unhappy cleaner. One bad day isn't a reason to redesign your entire business. Which brings us to the model that everything else is built upon. Lesson 8. If it's not in the 22-day plan, don't do it. So we have a 4-hour YouTube tutorial that walks you through how to build one of these businesses in just 1 hour a day. At the end of the 22 days, you will have the right kind of business set up following this exact model. If it's not in that video, it's either one of two things. One, it might be legal compliance for your specific area, in which case you've got to do your own research and make sure that you're following the rules where you live. Or number 2, it's unnecessary clutter that your entrepreneurial brain is trying to come up with these amazing ideas to get you to do. And I get it, you're excited. That's awesome. But people don't quit because the model doesn't work. They quit because they add stuff to it. And the more they add, the more workload they add. The more stress they add, the more unnecessary spending they add. So for example, you might think to yourself, I want to do lawn signs, or I'm going to wrap my car, or I'm going to go out and buy all the best vacuums in town. You'll notice when you watch that video, we don't talk about any of those things. And it's not because they don't work, it's because they're unnecessary. You don't need to do them. Which brings us to lesson 9. Saying no is your superpower. Not every client is the right fit for this model, and that's good news. We don't actually want every single person who's looking for cleaning services. In fact, I've fired way more clients than I have cleaners. And our cleaners are human, they do make mistakes. But what breaks this model is a client that is constantly asking for back and forth communication. They're the clients who freak out over tiny details. The ones who write you an essay explaining exactly how they want the cleaning done. The ones who want you to promise perfection in just one clean. Remember, our model is built for busy people. They don't have time, nor do they have the energy to want to micromanage a cleaner. So when somebody sends us a novel asking if our cleaner will clean the toilet with a toothbrush exactly the way they want, the answer is nope, they won't. Because every no you say protects your energy and your cleaner's energy. And once you know who your business is really for, you need a way to say it up front. Lesson 10. Use your facts like a bouncer. Your frequently asked questions page is one of the most important filters on your website. It's where you answer real questions in your real voice. Most people treat their frequently asked questions page like an afterthought. We treat it like a bouncer. You know, the big guy at the door of the club that everybody wants to get into? Well, we treat our cleaning business like it's the one that everybody wants to get into. And we use our facts to speak directly to our ideal clients and filter out the ones that aren't the right fit. So take the time to write a really great facts page. Answer their questions in your real voice. People will read it, and trust me, clarity up front saves hours of wasted time going back and forth later. Lesson 11, software that solves real problems. Most people start by building a website on their own, and you can totally do that. But here's what happens. Once you get busy, you need to have some sort of a scheduling software. Then you need to have payment software. You need to have reminders sending out to the clients and the cleaners to remind them of their appointments. And so once you've kind of duct taped all of that together, you end up with a really janky business. We started off with the one system that does it all. We use ConvertLabs. It gives us a website, our booking software, scheduling, payment processing, reminders for the clients and the cleaners. It's as close to a business in a box as you'll ever get. So rather than taping together a bunch of different software and actually paying a lot more over time as a result, we simply have our one system that does it all. I'll link to it below if you want to check it out. That link will give you 30 days free, and after that, it's $197 a month. And inside ConvertLabs is something just as important. Lesson 12, community keeps you grounded. Inside ConvertLabs is a community. It does two things. First, it normalizes the experience. You post, hey, I have this situation. Is this normal? And 5 other business owners pipe up and they go, yeah, totally normal. Here's how I dealt with it. Second, it keeps you from reinventing the wheel. It pulls you back to what actually works. The community is the difference between, okay, I get it, this is normal, or I quit, this is too much. Because year 1 is when you're most likely to overreact. You're doing the hardest version of this business. That's lesson 13, the 80-20 rule. The goal is 80-20. 80% recurring clients, 20% one-time cleans. But in year 1, it looks totally flipped. You're gonna have 80% one-time cleans because you're brand new. They don't know you yet. And maybe 20% recurring clients. And that's why year 1 feels so hard. One-time cleans are harder. They create more questions, they generate more complaints, and they only pay you once. So you do them, you learn from them, and you adapt, and you try your best to convert those one-time cleans into recurring clients. Lesson 14, about those complaints. 2 to 5% of clients will complain. That's normal. We're under 1% now, but we built our way there. Every complaint is feedback. Either we took on a new client that we knew wasn't the right fit because they all give red flags, and sometimes we choose to ignore them, or we weren't clear with our expectations. We weren't firm with our boundaries. Learn, adjust, do a re-clean, and move on. And sometimes you just have to issue a refund. And that leads us to lesson 15. Psychosandras aren't worth your energy. Most new cleaning business owners freak out the minute they get a psychosandra. They lose sleep. They start second-guessing their cleaners, thinking all their cleaners are terrible. They start rewriting the entire business because one client is mad. They picture psychosandra destroying the reputation one-star review at a time. And some people quit right there. In fact, many people quit right there. But here's the move that separates the successful business owners from the ones who quit. Refund her. Move on. Protect your sanity and your cleaner's sanity. Your reputation won't be ruined by one-star review. Respond calmly, professionally, so that the right clients will read your response and go, yeah, I want to work with that company. They just dealt with her really well. Once you accept that psychosandras are going to happen, you stop treating her review like it's the most important thing and instead treat it like it's part of an ongoing system. Lesson 16, reviews are your best marketing strategy. Reviews get you more and better clients because you start attracting the right clients that are looking for exactly what you offer. Almost all new clients will read reviews online before they book. You want as many reviews as you can possibly get. Some business owners personally reach out to every single new client to ask them for a review, and that's awesome. But here's the thing. When you start getting really busy, and when you're working with clients like we are that are very busy themselves, it's very easy to only ask once and then never again. And it's a lot of extra work to ask every single client for a review. So we use NiceJob, which is already integrated into ConvertLabs. All you have to do is set up an account with them. Here's the gist. After a cleaner finishes the job, we hit charge card, and automatically NiceJob sends a request for a review from the client. The client will likely read it and go, oh yeah, I want to write them a review. And then they get busy and they forget. So NiceJob will send them a little nudge a couple days later. And again, and again. That's why we get way more reviews than any of the other cleaning companies in town who simply ask once and then never again. And that leads us to the other thing that everybody underestimates. Lesson 18, set up communication to communicate. ConvertLabs handles the automated stuff. Reminders, the check-in, check-outs for the cleaners, the payment processing, all of that happens behind the scenes. And then there's the part where sometimes you just have to answer the phone. So we use Quo. It works on our phones, our desktops, our laptops, and it works wherever we are. So if I'm at the gym, if I'm on vacation, wherever I am, I can see exactly what's going on in the business with communication. And it also works as a gatekeeper. So it protects our business hours. I'm not answering the phone outside of 9 to 5. That's not a thing in this business because we run a professional cleaning company. If we miss a call, Quo reminds them, hey, did you check out our booking page? Take a look at our frequently asked questions page. And by the way, sometimes I find myself typing the exact same thing over and over and over again. When that happens, I create a snippet. And that way, I don't have to retype the same thing. I just choose the snippet and send that. Super easy. All this happens for about $20 a month. I'll link to it below. Lesson 19, track what matters. We track a handful of basics, but early on, there was one metric that we tracked more than any other. How much did I spend to get found online? And how much recurring revenue did that generate? Here's the common spiral. You'll spend $50 to get one lead reaching out to you. And maybe that lead's really annoying and they don't even end up booking. Then you think, ads don't work. I'm never advertising again. Here's the flip. We spent $1,000 and generated $5,000 in recurring revenue that month. Well, $5,000 times 12 is $60,000. Was it worth it to spend $1,000? Yes. Clearly, yes. But we don't get into the weeds of that $1,000 because that's what will make you want to quit. Once you see that working, the next question becomes, how can I do this without spending so much money? And that's lesson 20. SEO works. In year one, we spent about $14,000 in total in lead generation, and we generated about $300,000 in revenue. Then we went all in on understanding SEO, particularly Google, and now we spend $0 on lead generation. We just don't have to anymore because the best clients find us, and the wrong clients filter themselves out before getting onto our calendars. They check our pricing, they see our reviews, and they realize if they're not the right fit for us. And that's perfect. That's what we wanted. If you want the exact SEO breakdown for how we did this, I'll link to it below. And here's the part most people don't see coming. Once your business is really up and rolling, it's really easy to think that you should just focus on getting as many bookings as possible. But that kind of thinking will actually give you a lot more headache than it's worth. Lesson 21, 2 to 3 bookings a day. Because it's sustainable and it compounds at a really nice, steady pace that we can manage. It means you can onboard your clients and your cleaners properly. You can protect the quality of the cleaning. You can avoid burnout for both your cleaners and for you. And your schedule stays predictable. 2 to 3 new bookings a day is the most manageable, simple way to grow your business. Nobody's rushed. Nobody's resentful. Remember, there's no such thing as a cleaning emergency. All of this just builds naturally over time. Now, here's the catch. In order to accept 2 to 3 bookings a day, you have to pay attention to the next lesson. Lesson 22, always be hiring. The moment you think you're fully staffed, it's time to hire. We hire 1 to 2 cleaners a month. Any more than that, and I give myself headaches by having to help every single new cleaner to adapt to our model. Any less than that, and I can't keep up with all the new bookings coming in. 1 to 2 cleaners a month is the sweet spot for us. And we do that in the low season, the slow season, the high season. It just happens all year, no matter what. And the minute you stop hiring, you're going to start making panic decisions. You'll have too many clients coming in and not enough cleaners to meet demand. You'll start over-promising, yeah, we can do that, and under-delivering because you can't do that. Hiring ahead of when you actually have the demand will keep everything steady and calm. And then your entrepreneurial brain is gonna go, amazing, let's fill up all of our free time with some other project. Lesson 23, use the freedom you built for you, not for your business. For me, it's the gym. Every single day in the middle of the workday. I don't know about you, but I've never had a job where I can take off that much time in the middle of the workday. That right there is quality of life. And I've never had a job where I had that opportunity. And that's the whole point. Because if you're used to grinding, your entrepreneurial brain is going to make more work and it's going to fill your time. And all of a sudden, you now have a 9-to-5 job instead of a nice, easy little cleaning company that pays the bills, treats cleaners great, solves actual problems for your clients, and gives you your time back. And once you start protecting your freedom, you get picky about who gets access to your brain. Lesson 24, don't take advice from the wrong model. When you start a new business, something happens really fast. People you love and trust will suddenly start offering you their advice. They might own a successful business, but it's not a business built on this model. So when they're offering their heartfelt advice to help your business grow, just remember this is a new model. It is specific for local service companies. So it's really important that you listen to people that are in this space. Remember, that's what the community is for. You can hop in at any time and just ask other people and they'll give you their advice. Because this isn't a typical business that you read about in books. We're not selling widgets. We're not trying to reach thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Local service businesses are different because they're local and because they're a service business. People are already out there looking for our services. They want exactly what we offer. So here's the rule. Share your wins. Have fun, talk to other business owners. It's great, but I promise you, they will start asking you more and more about your model because they're gonna be going, I really like the sound of that. And that leads us to our final lesson. Let it be boring. When the business is boring, it's working. Boring looks like the same clients on the same day, at the same time, with the same cleaners, and you're barely touching it. That's the win. If you're ready to build your cleaning company the right way, go watch this video next and tell me in the comments which of these lessons resonated the most.